Hey there, this is Rick. I hope you're having a great day. Right, in today's video, we're going to be carrying on working our way through this list of potential places to live. It is so cold. I've got a confession to make. I haven't been for my walk outside for the last 2 days. It is horrible out there. It's just so cold and so grey, and it's just so uninspired. But I do have to say a thank you to the person, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but the person who said in a recent comment, put me onto the idea of something called a walking pad. And I looked into them and I thought, what a great idea. It's like a little mini treadmill, but they're kind of small and lightweight, and they don't take up a huge space in your room, so you can just perch it up against the wall when you're not using it. And you can use it at your computer desk. And so I've got one arriving today. So at least I can get my walking in, and I've got myself a little a steppy pedometer thing, so I'm counting my steps as well. So I want to get at least an absolute minimum of 5,000 in a day, but preferably 10,000 or more. And hopefully that little walkie thing, what do they call it, a walking pad, will help me to do that. But like I say, it's been so cold lately. I just want to like not get up in the mornings and sort of just stay in winter hibernation mode. I even had to buy a new jumper with a neck on it. I got this is a proper oiled wool fisherman's jumper, just so that I can stay warm, because that other jumper I had, even that wasn't warm enough. In fact, I was wearing this and that one yesterday. It's just so cold here. I know it's like a 1 degree during the day, or 2 degrees. I think a scorching 2 degrees today. But for some reason, I'm just feeling the cold, and it's horrible. Yeah, and this is down south, so quite how I will cope with Scotland, I have no idea. But I think this may be restricting me to England only, even though I sort of fell in love with that Galloway area. Anyway, people have been saying to me, and thank you for the feedback. I've been getting some great feedback and tips and ideas and things on the previous videos on the comments. But a lot of people are saying, Rick, you're not really going to get a feel for a place just by using this Google Earth in VR. And I agree with you. It's not ideal, but at the moment it's the best I've got. The problem is I've got this list. Well, it's not a problem, but the thing is I've got this list. This is a list of, there are 60, I think 57 actually, items on here. These are places that you guys have suggested, and there could be a real little gem here waiting to be discovered. So I'm determined to go through this list and at least have a little look around using Google Earth, just to get a basic feel for the area, because that's my goal. I know when I first started out, I didn't quite have a solid goal in mind. I wasn't quite sure exactly how this quest was going to play out, but now I've engaged with it a little bit, got a few virtual miles under my belt. I now think I have a proper layout, a proper formula for this goal. My entire approach is going to be to find an area. So I'm not specifically looking for a house just yet. What I'm looking for is an area that I feel that I would be happy to live in. If I find a place that I fall in love with, then I think that's when the serious house hunting begins, and that's when I actually start looking for my forever home, or whatever you want to call it. But right now it's not specific houses I'm looking for, it's just an area. And obviously I have to keep an eye on the house prices, because there's no point in me, for example, wandering around Bournemouth going, would I like to live here, because I can't afford the houses there. But somewhere generally either north or east of here, I have a fighting chance of being able to move there. So that's the thinking. And also, of course, thank you again for all of the, I've been getting so many tips and advice about, make sure you're not in an area that gets regularly flooded, make sure you're near hospitals, make sure you're near certain facilities, make sure you've got certain things. Now, all those nuanced things will come into play if the serious house hunting starts. We just got to find ourselves an area to fall in love with, and that's going to be the quest. So without further ado, I'm going to jump back onto VR and then we're going to carry on working our way through this list. I'll try to be a little bit more concise with everything, just to try to get through a few more places. Otherwise, if we're only doing sort of 3 or 4 places a video, that's an awful lot of videos. So I'm going to try to get through a few more places, and I may be, if something's a little bit too big or whatever, I may be sort of almost immediately dismissive of it. I don't know. We'll suss it out, but we'll jump into VR and we'll see what's what. So here we are back in virtual reality, and my first suggestion is from Sean James Cameron, and he's suggested a place that I cannot pronounce, but it's spelt Cwmparc, like Cwmparc in Treorchy. Let's go there, have a look. Okay, so there it is, labelled up. It's in a valley. Is that the Rhondda Valley? I think it's the Rhondda Valley. I might be wrong. I'll just show you where it is on the actual the wider map. So we're looking at central southern Wales. I've got a little bit of flickering going on again, so hopefully it's not going to affect the video too badly. But let's just have a look. So this has not been augmented into 3D, but we've got a I think that's a river there, and a main road. I presume, is this a main road through it? Let's have a look. No, it looks like somebody's driveway, or the entrance to some back garages there. You'd literally be living under the shadow of the mountain, which is kind of nice. I've got that get that nice vibe from mountains. I do enjoy mountains. You get a lot of this sort of look in Wales. You got the kind of, I suppose they're almost like mining cottages, these little terraced houses, which are nice. I bet they're pretty cozy actually to live in a place like this. But like I say, I'm ultimately hoping to at least be able to park my van on my property. I think parking here, I'm going to guess parking here can be awkward at times. Not sure. Let's have a look, see if there's anything on the outskirts a little bit, maybe. It's quite a big area as well. Cool, this is really glitchy today. All right, so I just plugged in an Ethernet cable. Hopefully it does seem to be working a little bit better. I think it was just struggling to play catch up. But I'm right on the edge of that same Rhondda. I presume this is the Rhondda Valley, and I'm going to struggle, I think, to get a place that's got its own driveway around here. And I think, again, it's a little bit too big and sprawly. I'm kind of hoping to go for something a little bit smaller. But thank you, Sean, for the suggestion. This is definitely an area I would consider if I can find the right kind of settlement. I think this is a little bit too much of a built-up area for what I'm after, but I'm not. How can I put this politely, Sean? I'm not getting the vibe. I'm sorry. The vibe. I'm not getting that shouty. Ooh, yes, I like this place. I want to go and check it out. I'm just not getting that vibe. So this is an industrial area. I think I've seen. Have I seen this in one of Sean's videos? I might be wrong. I seem to recall. Is there a railway station up the road here? No, there's not. No, you got that's waterways there. No, don't know. There's a familiarity here that I'm sure I've seen this area in one of Sean's videos. But yeah, look, this little area, and then you got the mountain immediately above. It's kind of nice, and all around, it's kind of got the greenery that I could be drawn to, but I think it's a little busy. Okay, so next up is the suggestion by Peter Lewis, and he's given me a postcode here, which is SA3 4QX, which has brought up something called Langland. This is an area, it's not far from Swansea by the looks of it. I think this is Swansea here. And yeah, Langland is like just a smaller place nearby. So let's go in, have a quick look at it and get a feel for it. I mean, it looks lovely from this angle. Very nice indeed. Some big old properties right on the front. I'm going to guess that's a massive, almost like a Gothic hotel. I like that. And a few apartments on the front here. But up here, oh, right. Well, I'm going to take a guess. Looking at the size of these houses, I'm going to guess this is probably not going to be on my achievable list. I will look in a minute. It's not a bad little area though. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's proper designer house there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sell my little pokey little house and buy something like that or like these. This looks very expensive. But let's have a look at the wider area. We've got, these look like flats. I definitely don't want to get involved with a flat. Yeah, flats, not looking to go from a house to a flat. That's not going to be ideal. So this whole area looks expensive, I'm going to guess. And then you got your sort of standard like terraced houses along the road. But again, you're along a road, you've got no driveway. Nowhere to park your van. I don't know what the gardens are like at the back. I mean, they got a lot of, right. So okay, they got the long garden. So I get a little workshop or something in the back, and you've got road access at the back as well, by the looks of it. Which sometimes it's useful. Depends whether somebody's parked their vehicle and blocked everything. I've seen that before. I actually knew somebody who lived up in town, and they had a house like this, and their house backed onto a. There was access, but there was always somebody parked on it, and you just never get access to the back gardens, which was kind of annoying. But I'd imagine possibly from your bedroom window, you'd be able to see the sea from here, just about, or from over here, maybe. You have sea views from your upstairs window, which would be kind of nice. But this is a little bit too built up. Although you're only a short walk from, well, it's not really a golden sands, is it? It's kind of like mud, kind of a mud beach. I'm not sure I want to live on a mud beach. But I'm gonna guess these houses. Even though this is like Wales and the house price is a little bit cheaper, I'm going to guess these houses are you're still looking north of 700,000 maybe for some of these. There's some really big houses here. And then down here, I'm going to guess, I'm not even going to guess. I wouldn't really want to live in a terraced road like this. Although, I don't know, it would be kind of nice being a stone's throw away from. Oh no, not from a muddy beach. Maybe if this was a golden sandy beach, then maybe, but then I wouldn't be able to afford the house. So, but Langland. Okay, so give me a second. I shall go away and check out the prices, and I'll be back. I was right. Yeah, they're ranging from about 750,000 to about 1.2 million in this particular area. So that's just several times my budget. So unfortunately, Langland is not on the cards. But however, we have got Swansea. Where are we? Let's just look for the label. I think we have to go like that, don't we, to get the labels. So, all right, so there's Swansea, and then somewhere called Morriston. Again, it's just too built up, and I'm presuming it's going to be full of tourists as well in the summertime. Although it has got a nice sandy beach, so can't complain. And I'm going to guess, yeah, see, it's all terrace houses again. and parking's going to be an issue. It's kind of really, the more I think about it, I really do want somewhere to park when, on a little driveway. And all of these houses, I'm sure I could probably be able to get a house, one of these terrace houses, and literally be a stone's throw away from the beach, and that would be kind of nice. But it's just, I don't know. I think it's just going to be too noisy, too busy. Don't think Swansea is going to be on my card, on my list. And like I said, I think it's going to get really busy in the summertime. You got like a proper beach. Yeah, no, I think I can do better. But thank you, Peter, for the Langland suggestion. Nice to see it, but I wouldn't be able to move there. Right, moving on. Right, that was my walking pad that just arrived, so I should be unboxing that later. So next up is a suggestion by Peter Holmston for Dodleston in Chester. So I've just typed that in, and I gotta say straight away, I generally am not keen on being near huge population centres. We've got Manchester and Liverpool pretty close by, and Warrington as well. They're all big cities. Actually, I'm not sure Warrington's a city, but I think Liverpool and Manchester are. Okay, so let's have a look at Dodleston anyway. Let's have a look. Let's just get a general feel for it. So you're looking at some big-ish detached houses. So these actually look like fairly newer or newish bungalows, and it's like a. I'm going to guess this housing estate is no older than 10 years. I could be completely wrong, but so a modern. Actually, let's stand up again. Modern housing estate. I mean, it's kind of nice in so much as these houses are pretty spread out, but I've got a feeling because it's near Chester and that, I think I'm going to be struggling to afford a place. Now here I'm going to get some slightly more affordable housing, but I'm not really getting much more than I've already got if I'm in a place that looks like this. I'm trying to literally get away from kind of housing estate arrangement, but I'm assuming at the moment, but I will check. I think if I do move to an area like this, I'm just not going to get much house for my money. I will go and do some research now, and I'll be back and I'll let you know. Right, so I've had a check, and there are a couple of properties there, but they're not much. I'm not really going to be gaining anything. I'm just going to be sort of exchanging like for like. And that's not really the point of this exercise. And again, I think it's just too near these big population centres. And I want to be a little bit more away from it all if I can. But thank you for the suggestion. But Dodleston will not make my shortlist. So next up is Isle of Man. And that's a suggestion from Andy Robinson. I don't even need to search for that because I know where it is. It's up here. So the Isle of Man, I have had a little bit of a fly around it in Google Earth, just out of curiosity more than anything else. And it does seem to be consist of like some fairly big settlements on it. Although Colby looks quite sort of the right kind of size, maybe. Let's have a quick look. Could I go to Colby on the Isle of Man? Let's have a look what it looks like. So, I mean, yeah, like little cottages dotted around. I mean, that's my kind of thing. I like this sort of vibe. Obviously, the next question is, is it within my remit? Is that the right word? Is it within my budget? I'm going to guess possibly not. Or there again, I could be pleasantly surprised. But somewhere, I don't know, somewhere like this would not be instantly dismissed. I think perhaps I could be tempted with somewhere like this, but again, it all depends on the house price properties. I've got a feeling, my general feeling is if I wanted a place you know, a small little villagey sort of setting, I'm going to have to pay a premium, I'm guessing. But there would probably be a lot more available property on the bigger settlements. I mean, this one doesn't look too bad. But there again, we're back to these sort of old Victorian sort of style houses with no parking. Let's see if that can change if I move. See, yeah, little bungalow near the sea. That does have appeal. That does kind of work. If I could grab a little bungalow with a little driveway, look, place for Gwen, little garage so I can make a workshop, I'll be a happy bunny. In a place where I'm literally, let's have a look, how far am I from the sea? The sea's over there. Or it's over there. There we go. It's a little walk down a couple of streets and you're by the sea. What does the sea look like? I like it. I love it, actually. I kind of like this. But the golden question is, could I afford it? I'll be back. Let me find out. Right, so we're back, and I've just had a lot of things going on. I had some family visits, so I had to take a break for a little while. But we're back, and I've just found a little bungalow for sale in Peel that looks rather nice. I think it was sort of over this sort of way, and it was just about within budget. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bungalow like this. So we could potentially get yourselves a little, I think it's a 2-bed bungalow with a little driveway and a garage on the Isle of Man, just about in budget. But it was the only one on the entire island from what I could see. And I think generally based on everything else, it did seem a little like it might have been on the cheap side. It was an empty property, so I'm thinking they may have just priced it to sell it off a bit quick. But yeah, it would only be like a little short wander down to the coast by the looks of things. So is that like a walk there? Yeah, there's a public walk right of way there, down to the coastal area. And I think it was tucked away back here somewhere. Quite where I'm not sure, but anyway, so it's interesting to get just a rough idea that you could potentially come and live in the Isle of Man. But would I want to? That's the ultimate question. There's a marina there. That looks nice. See, island living, I don't know, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it? And there are probably loads of things that I'm not taking into account. But there is some slight appeal here. I'm presuming I could just jump on a ferry with Guinevere and just go there and have a look around. But Isle of Man, I think I'm not going to rule it out. I think there is possible scope, although I think it's not necessarily going to be I'm not going to have a huge amount of property to choose from on the budget I'm talking about. So anyway, Isle of Man, I'm going to leave that as a maybe, and I'm going to put an M next to it. So it's not a tick, but it's not a cross either. It's kind of a maybe. It's an in between, just to add a bit more confusion to my life. Anyway, moving on. Next one is Shropshire, and that's a suggestion by Dan Finch. Okay, so there's the map pin for Shropshire, which is just on the Welsh-English border, I do believe. And the general suggestion was just Shropshire, and that's from Dan. And I don't know. That's not Dan Finch. That's not sort of interesting, Dan, is it? Because I know he's got a canal boat around Shropshire. I think, anyway. Right, so Shropshire, Shrewsbury itself is a little bit on the big side, but are there any smaller villages? Actually, let's just check how far. So we're about. Is that about 30 miles from Birmingham. So I'm thinking maybe so like you've got Basin Hill, a little bit big, Longden, Plealy, there's some little villages and places around here. Anywhere like Hanwood, that looks, see, Hanwood looks interesting, although it's in a dip. Is that a, oh, it's a railway. I thought for a second that might have been a river. Oh, there's a river there. So are we looking at possible floodplain area? Don't know. That's something I'd have to look into. Let's have a quick look. So perfect little like bungalows. I'm quite happy with the idea of a bungalow. I mean, a house would be nice, but I don't know, I quite like bungalows as well, which is just a single story building. But we're looking at bungalows with plenty of drive space, nice looking area. Obviously this is just one part. Let's go and have another look at a place at random. So village pub as well. Okay, so not bad. It is landlocked. I presume Shropshire is landlocked, so not much coast nearby. Oops, we're upside down. Let me just spin the map round. There we go. So yeah, I've got the same problem in Wiltshire, sort of miles and miles and miles and miles from the coast. So what is nearby? Is it just, I know they've got canals and a lot of Brunel sort of buildings and things. What's the attraction here? Let me just jump down into the area. Let's see if there's any features in the land. So we got like some hills going on, which is, there are no mountains by the looks of it. It's just kind of a sort of sloping hills, which is fine. I'm just trying to think. I mean, it might be some nice nature walks. Okay, and there's other little towns or little settlements nearby. Let's get a rough idea of the house prices of this area. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type in, let's have a look, Minsterley. I'm going to type in Minsterley and then put in let's say a 10-mile radius of Minsterley. Actually, I would say a 5-mile radius, and hopefully that will give us an idea of the prices. Back in a second. Well, it does look like there are a number of houses in the area that fall within the budget, although most of the pictures give the impression that they are all on housing estates, which I'm going to guess is probably closer to the bigger population centre. I don't know, but that is a possibility. But the area itself, I'd have to literally go there and have a potter around to see whether it's the kind of place that I would want to live in. I don't know anything about Shropshire. I've never really been there. But at the moment, the coastal stuff is really sparking my interest more than the inland stuff. But I'm not going to rule out Shropshire. I think I may have to go and have a look. So I'm going to put that as another maybe, Shropshire. Right, next on the list is a place called Lydney near the Severn, and that's by Bionic Raster. So Lydney, Lydney. Let's have a look. Okay, Lydney is, oh, I see, it's just like it's just the other side of the Severn. So it's a little town off an estuary, a little bit on the big busy side, but I've not ruled out entirely the idea of living in a small town, as long as there's a benefit to being there. A lot of got the whole parking problem here again. Nowhere to park. And look, I bet you it's absolutely impossible to get a parking spot outside your house, which is probably not ideal. Let's have a little scoot around. It's good that you can just like look into this bubble and just, I mean, you've got some little detached houses there with their own driveways, which is good. But again, we've got to make sure that the price is right. So this just kind of looks like your average sort of little town. So there's some bungalows here. And sort of just sort of average, typical little streets in your average little town in the UK. Nothing spectacular, but nothing bad. More bungalows again, with driveways, which is good. Okay, so I'm not getting a bad vibe, although it's not. I'm not getting a. I'm kind of I've got a neutral vibe going on. Don't know. Let me check the prices, and I'll be back. So I'm generally going to get a 2-bed semi or a 3-bed terraced on a housing estate in this area, and unless there's a really good reason to be here, I'm already on a housing estate in a 4-bed actually, so I'll be giving up something. But what is the advantage to coming here? These are the things I need to find out, because as I say, I'm not going to be moving for the sake of moving. I'm looking to move ideally for some nice walks on my doorstep, just a better environment in general. But unfortunately, I'm just not getting that vibe from here. I mean, it's just a smaller town. There's a bit of countryside around. You've got the estuary, which is, I mean, we see a lot of the estuary from when we do camping at the field. So it'd be nice and near to Damon's Field, but I don't know. It's not shouting at me. I don't think there's anything there that warrants upping sticks here and sort of going there. So I'm going to write that one off, but thank you, Bionic Rasta, for the suggestion. Okay, next up is somewhere called I think it's Braughing, Hereford, and that's from Callum Banks. It's Braugh. Let's have a look. Okay, here we are, Braughing near Hereford, which again is on the English-Welsh border. Let's just make sure we're in the right place, because there were several Braughings. Let's see where Hereford is. You've got Chelmsford. Oh. No, right. So are we at the right? No, that's not Braughing, Hereford. Hereford's over here. Hereford's this way. Ah, here we go. Braughing is a village and civil parish between the rivers Quin and Rib on the non-metropolitan district of East Hertfordshire. Oh, right, okay. So I've got Herefordshire written down, so I'm wondering if I've written it down wrong. So there's a big difference between Hertfordshire and Herefordshire. Herefordshire I can afford. Hertfordshire, unfortunately, I can't afford. So yeah, Braughing is in. I think he means in Hertfordshire, unless I wrote Hereford. But unfortunately, Callum, Braughing is a no. It's just out of my price range, and it's too near to London. All right, so next up we've got Alnwick, Northumberland, and that's a suggestion by Washy Girl. So let's head on over there and see what's what. Okay, so here we are, Alnwick, and this is near the coast, which is good. It's, I think, what we want. I'm definitely warming up to the idea of having a place that's near the coast. That idea is very much growing on me. Let's just have a quick look where it is in terms of the wider map in the country. Apparently this is Northumberland. I think actually I was calling it Yorkshire, wasn't I? But I think Yorkshire's down this way, isn't it? So this is Northumberland. Now, I've had several people say to check out Northumberland because it's very, very scenic and definitely worth a look. And the property prices should hopefully be within my my ability. So let's have a quick look at Alnwick. So there's some housing estates that are pretty, they look established. They're not like new ones, unless I'm lying. Actually, they do look newish. Well, newish, like, you know, or maybe not. It's possible I'm just making all this up. Newish estate back there, but these are a lot more. Oh, that's the kind of, these are newish as well. I mean, say newish. When I say newish, they're probably, you know, made in the last 15 years, I'm guessing. It doesn't matter anyway. Ultimately, we've got, well, it's a housing estate. I'm trying to avoid housing estates if I can, but if there's something on the edge of a place, then it's doable. Okay, so this is just a sort of typical English housing estate sort of area. Nothing bad, nothing good, just kind of just normal. There's the high street. There we go. So this is the main bit of town. You can normally tell what a place is like by the kinds of shops they have. If it's all blooming betting shops and charity shops, you know it's in trouble. But we've got a Costa, we've got a Co-op. Did I see a Co-op? No, a WH Smith's. Where did I get Co-op from? Oh, there's a Co-op there. I got a Boots, we got a Superdrug. So these are all chain. What's his name? We got a Greggs, M&Co. That must be a independent chain. Got Cancer Reach-Out. Right, so you have got one charity shop, two charity shops, and lots of chain things. I don't know what that tells me about the place. So got a Family Bakers, got a flower shop, treatment rooms, shoe shop. So looks like a what's the word? It's one of those high streets that's good in so much as they haven't got half the shops boarded up. That's always a good sign. So it looks very nice in the sun when the sun's out, and you've got some nice historic looking buildings there and cobblestones. That's always a nice thing, I think. Ooh, what's that going across the road there? Like a weird little tunnel going through it's like a little mini Champs-Élysées or whatever that thing is in France. Oh, what's that all about? It's like a car. You got to drive through a castle wall into the town square. That's quite. That's novel. That is very cool. So, all right, okay. I'll give it some extra points for character. Little car park, and I could fit my van in there. That's always good. So, okay, I'm sort of happy with what I've seen. So, okay, so there's nothing untoward about this place. It looks fairly cool. At least the houses are bigger. There's not like rows and rows and rows of terraced houses where you can't park or do anything. You've actually got a bit of space. You've got little driveways. Not sure what nature walks would be like on the edge of town. You've got that's a dual carriageway. That's going to be a main A road. I'll see if I can find out what it is. So it's the A1068. Oh, we've frozen up again. Keeps doing this. I may have to stop the recording and come back. All right, we're back here again. Now, I've just done, while I was waiting for my computer to reboot, I've just done a quick price check in this area, and unfortunately, for my budget. The most I'm going to get is like a little 1 or 2 bed terraced house on a busy street. I'm not actually going to be able to afford a property in one of these estates. So that's unfortunate. But we are near the coast in Northumberland. So let's have a quick check out of, let's see what settlements we've got here. So have a look further down the coast, see if there's any civilization of any kind. Oh, here's a settlement right near the coast. Oh, this could be interesting with the coast right on the doorstep there. This is Longhoughton, is that right? Longhoughton, England. So yeah, this is the kind of thing I got in mind, just like a little springboard to nowhere with just a bunch of houses, but like populated enough to possibly have a shop or two, and you're not so isolated that you haven't got internet or anything. This could be, although look at that car. I bet you this is a really expensive area as well, isn't it? Let's have a look. Give me a second, I'll look it up. Yeah, Longhoughton. There were 2 properties available. One was 540,000 and the other one was 450,000. So that's not going to be a thing. What's this? Low Newton by the sea. I'm wondering if it's going to be the same for anything along here. So these look like all holiday places. What's the name of this place? Beadnell. Is that the same? Sea houses. Okay, and it's got a little harbour and everything. Yeah, is it worth me looking it up? I don't think it's going to be even within the realms of possibility. I'll have a look anyway. No, there's very, very little here. There was one pokey little, I think it was a 1-bed terraced house that was within budget. Okay, so anyway, let's see where we are. And so this is Northumberland. You got Berwick upon Tweed, North Berwick, Edinburgh. Are we in Scotland? Oh, we are. Okay, so I have sort of, I think, pretty much made up my mind, even though I kind of fell in love with the Dumfries and Galloway area. I have pretty much made up my mind. I don't think I'm ready to go that far north. I think, like, Yorkshire, to be honest, is probably going to be my limit. Let's have a look. What's around here. You got Whitby and Scarborough. I've never actually seen them, even flown over them. So this is Whitby, and let's see. So you got new housing estate, and lots of green area, unless it's earmarked for further expansion. But let's have a look. Little bungalows and things, and little houses. So lots of housing estates again. This is the thing with me wanting something rural, but with the limited budget, it's going to be a real push to get the kind of thing that I want in the right kind of location as well, because ultimately the whole point of moving is it's all about the location. That's the most important thing. I mean, when I look at the pictures on like Rightmove and everything, I just scroll through the interior, the house interior pictures. I'm not interested in those. I can I will decorate it to however I want it. It doesn't matter. What matters is like the grounds, the garden, what it's, how big the driveway is, that sort of thing. That's the only thing I'm taking any notice of. But this is Whitby Front. It looks a little bleak. Mind you, this is the East Coast, and I've always been under the impression the East Coast is a lot bleaker than the West Coast. You've also got to take into account, if I pull out here a minute, I just recently, earlier today, looked at a map, like a projected flood map for the UK for the next 20 years. And unfortunately, this area all around here, so this is like, I think it's like Lincoln, southern Lincoln, all around, like, is that the Wash? Just slightly north of Peterborough, I think. All of this area is in danger, and they reckon there could be some major flooding in the next 20 years. This whole area was in red, and I think a little area up there as well. In fact, what I'll do, I think it was along the coastline as well. It was all red. I'll show you a picture. I'll insert a picture here, and you can see this was I think it was a government survey or government predictions about the potential flooding areas. So big chunks of the East Coast, it looks like, were I to get a property, sort of somewhere along here, there is the possibility that flooding could be a major issue. Now, I suppose you would minimise that by getting a place that's sort of up on a hill, perhaps, rather than down in a dip. But it doesn't seem to be very hilly around here. Where are we? Hornsey. So yeah, it was really interesting looking at that map, and I thought, ooh, should I even bother looking at the East Coast? Because if it's likely to be properly flooded within the next 20 years, assuming I'm still alive then, it could be, I don't know. It's just something extra to think about, isn't it? But Hornsey, let's have a look. It looks, oops, I've lost my pictures. It all looks a bit bleak, doesn't it? I'm sure it's fine in the summer when it's, when the sun's shining. But I don't know, there's something about the East Coast. It's the North Sea, isn't it, I think? But anyway, let's do one more on the list, and then I think I'm going to call it a day, because I don't want this video to drag on a long way. So we've got a suggestion of I can't pronounce that. Criccieth. Let me type it in. Criccieth. There we go. And that was a suggestion from Tom Williams. So I have no idea where that is, but let's go and have a look. Oh, coastal. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the map. And so that's like northern Wales on the little southern bit of that little bit jutting out there. Criccieth. Right, let's go and have a look. Nice sandy beaches. I'm liking it already. See, this would be quite... Oh, looks like it's got a castle as well. Okay, so... Well, this is all right. I like it. It's got I'm getting a nice vibe from this. I don't know why, but maybe it's because the sun's shining. Obviously, all terraced houses again, so parking going to be difficult. Let's see if there's anywhere that has houses that actually have a bit of parking. So set back here. Yeah, we've got our bungalows. There we go. Bungalow, driveway, and a garage. That's all I want. Just want a bungalow, somewhere to park Guinevere, and a garage for a workshop. If I can secure something like that in a place like this, that to me is something very, very attractive. 2-minute walk away from the front. Let's have a look what the front looks like. I'm going to guess you're going to get a lot of tourists in the summertime. So parking might be an issue, but if you lived literally just up the road, I mean, I could always just come down on my bike or just walk down. And some nice walks, coastal walks. Okay, I like this place. So the golden question is it in budget? Let me find out, and I'll be back. Oh, well, that's a shame. I would have to double my budget just to even have a chance of buying a place here. So, unfortunately, that's a no. So let's try somewhere more inland. Carnarvon, they got a castle there, haven't they? This is a built-up area, lots and lots of terraced houses here. By the looks of it, rows and rows of terraced houses in the middle of town. Got a little housing estate here, which is okay. It's been 3D augmented too. Cool. Let's have a look at the castle. I went to Carnarvon Castle when I was a kid. I went on holiday to Wales with a mate, and we went to Carnarvon for the day. And they just basically let us loose, and we ran around this castle. It was very cool. But definitely a busy little town, but very interesting place. Honestly, it's like flying around a little model village when they do this 3D augmenting. Big houses here, big houses back here as well, and then still big houses, and then a newish estate back here. I'm gonna guess no, but again, I'll have a look. There's more houses here. Interesting, no drives, just gardens. Yeah, I think I'm going to struggle to get a place here. And again, it's a fairly big town again. And unless I'm right on the edge. But there again, if I am in a place like this, I'm literally a few minutes drive away from very, very interesting things. Ooh, cool little lake. Used to be a quarry, I'm guessing. And we're seizing up again. No, we recovered. Good. Right. Carnarvon. Let me just have a check on the prices and we'll see what's what. Well, there are a few properties within budget. The best I could do is something along these lines, which are like, I think they look like 1960s houses with a tiny little driveway or a tiny little garden. But that's about the best I'm going to do. So I'm in a built-up housing estate. So I am not sure it's going to tick the right boxes, even though I am not far at all from the sea. It's just a short walk. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is it'd be a nice to visit for the day, and they've got a nice big open car park as well, which is cool. But I don't think I'd want to live here. It's just a little bit too noisy, too big, and I really wouldn't get much for my money. So there we go. That's another few areas we've had a look at. I'm thinking, actually, because it's taken me a long time to get through this list, I'm thinking I may change my tactics for the next video. Leave it with me and I will figure something out. But for now, I'll just hand you back to non-VR Rick, and he can sign the video off. Right, so there we go. That's another bunch of places we've got to look at. Not many ticks, unfortunately. I've got lots of crosses happening, but not many ticks, which is good in a way, because there are so many different places that I could potentially have to get involved with, and it could take a very, very long time. In fact, I think I'm going to have a little bit of a tweak as to how I proceed with the rest of the list, because otherwise this is going to take forever, and it's going to make loads and loads and loads of videos that are very, very similar. So leave it with me, and I will figure something out. But I'm going to try to get through this list a little bit more quickly and a bit more efficiently. To get, ultimately the goal is to get down to a short list, and then once we've got that short list, we can really properly start to think about actually getting out and seeing some places. So that will be good, and obviously the sooner I do that, the better. But that is it for now. So thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave your comments in the notes below, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.